What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Jeff from The Joint Chiropractically, coming to you with the tip of the week. Today's little education session is going to be maybe a little bit longer than we normally do, but it's going to be on stress. And the topic is, how does stress make us sick? I'm hoping you can see that, because we're going to be referring to it as we go along here. But stress, we hear, is a silent killer. It's a major cause for, or contributor at least, to all kinds of problems within our body. It can lead to heart disease, it can lead to diabetes, it can cause, possibly even contribute to strokes and feelings of anxiety and fear in our bodies and our minds. So stress is a big problem. And I'm going to take you through, I know I've done this before, but I want to take you through the mechanics because it's really super interesting on what stress actually does to us. It's all going to make a lot of sense here as we go through. I'm just going to give you the basics. And I want to take you back in time to the days when we were hunters and gatherers. And when we were hunters and gatherers, there was a primitive response that developed in human beings that we refer to as the fight or flight response. And when we were living in these tribes, we lived a very innate life. We were living off the earth, and you'd wake up in the morning with the sun, and you'd walk down to the stream, and you'd go to get a nice cool drink of water out of the creek, and you'd bend down and get a drink. And imagine you see in the reflection of the water, there's a saber-toothed tiger staring at you, right? Now, instantly, your body is going to go through incredible changes, almost instantaneously, taking place within your body in order to save your life. It's what we refer to as the fight or flight response. Now, this same response happens to us on nearly a daily basis for most of us when we are affected by stresses, whatever it is that triggers us in our life, whether it be work, relationships, money, whatever it is that sets us off. Stress it's the effect that we go through on a daily basis is not nearly as dramatic as what we would experience in a fight or flight response, like being confronted with a tiger. But the first thing that happens is when we are confronted by some kind of danger, our nervous system has to perceive there's a danger. So our senses feed our nervous system, say, listen, there's a tiger. I know through my personal experience that this thing can cause me a great deal of harm. So instantly, my brain alerts my adrenal glands, and my adrenals start dumping all kinds of chemicals, adrenaline, cortisol, and other types of hormones that are going to enable me to have a fight or flight response. So my adrenals start dumping these chemicals, and the first thing that's going to happen is my blood pressure and my heart rate are going to start to skyrocket. Why? Well, when we have an elevated heart rate, of course, and blood pressure, things circulate through the body a lot more quickly. And that means we're going to be able to get the nutrients and the hormones to different parts of the body in order to stimulate this response. We're going to see blood glucose levels increase. That's our blood sugars are going to start to skyrocket. Glucose is easily turned into energy, and so our blood sugars are going to start to become hyperstimulated. We're going to see an increase, and this is super interesting, we're going to see an increase in cholesterol when we're under stress or in the fight or flight response, and also blood lipids and what we refer to as clotting factors. Right? Now, cholesterol, one of the major jobs of cholesterol is to synthesize hormones. So it actually creates, nearly every hormone in our body is a building block. So we need cholesterol in there for our body to create these hormones. But also cholesterol is used in wound clotting. Now, the interesting thing is if we were confronted by a tiger, right, the chances of us being wounded are very high. Right? So our body preempts any kind of injury by releasing these cholesterol levels into our body, into our bloodstream. Right? Clever, intelligence. Right? This is a very intelligent reaction our body goes through to save our life, as we said. We're going to see increased fear and anxiety as a result of a reduction in what we call serotonin. Now, serotonin is a chemical that's released from the brain that enables us to fall asleep. It enables us to feel good. The serotonin gets used up very quickly when we're under stress or in a fight or flight response, and it's going to lead to feelings of anxiousness, anxiety, fear, restlessness. We're not going to be able to sleep very well, fatigue. These sorts of things are going to set in as a result of serotonin reduction. Immunity, our immune system is going to start to shut down. We don't need to be focusing on fighting infections when we're under a great level of fear because of a fight or flight response. So immune system uses a lot of energy. So the immune system is going to be downregulated. We're going to see a decrease in growth hormones. We're going to see a reduction in testosterone. We're going to see a reduction in what we call luteinizing hormone, which balances, one of the jobs is to balance female reproductive cycles. Testosterone gets reduced, so we see a decrease in sex drive when we're stressed out. And of course, memory and concentration. We can't focus or think about anything because a lot of that has to do with the reduction of serotonin. And so we can see through all of these things that happen to us how we become a very likely candidate for developing sickness, right? We look at an increase in blood pressure, an increase in your heart rate, blood lipids and cholesterol levels and clotting factors increase. Suddenly, the risk factor for you, if you're under regular stress every day, right, your body's going through this same reaction, just on a smaller level, you become a higher risk candidate for heart attacks and strokes. We see our blood sugars, our blood glucose levels getting out of balance. One of the things that happens in a fight or flight response or during stress is our insulin receptors get downregulated. It means that we're unable to process sugars in the body properly. So the chances of us becoming diabetic greatly increase as a result of stress. Fear and anxiety, serotonin, we're not sleeping. Our heart doesn't have an opportunity to repair. Sleep is one of the most essential times for us when we're shut down. This is when our body goes to work healing and repairing. Okay? And of course, if our immune system gets shut down, we're far more susceptible to all disease, whether it be a cold or a flu or cancers. These are things that our immune system can fight and defend against. So we see how stress becomes a real devastating event in our lives. And we need to learn how to eliminate the negative effects that stress has. I don't have time to get into all of that today, and that's going to be a topic for my next talk. I'm going to get into is ways that we can bust stress and effectively reverse the damaging effects that stress has upon our bodies. So I hope this has been enlightening and entertaining and has given you some insights into the relevance that stress has in our body, and take heed so that we can do the things necessary to reverse the damaging effects that stress has on us. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Yadlowski from the Joint Chiropractic Clinic. As always, keep your spine adjusted. It's good for you, all right? Have yourself a fabulous day.